Tonight on CTV.
A Fort Collins chiropractor was charged for sexual assault.
And CSU's latest efforts to address the financial crisis facing RAs. We have the latest.
Also, is Colorado's first snowstorm coming our way?
All this and more starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Bella Walser.
And I'm JJ Mckinney.
A Fort Collins man was fatally struck while walking across College Avenue last Wednesday. According to Fort Collins Police Services, the collision occurred in the 4600 block of South College Avenue around 7:30 in the evening. Upon their arrival, the victim was seen suffering from serious injuries and was pronounced dead on scene. Through their investigation, police determined a 2008 Chevrolet van was involved in the accident. This marks the third pedestrian death in Larimer County this year. Anyone with further information regarding the incident are encouraged to contact Officer Philip Morris at 970-221-6540.
A Fort Collins chiropractor has been arrested for allegedly having unlawful sexual contact. A Fort Collins chiropractor turned himself into police after a warrant was issued calling for his arrest for unlawful sexual contact. Detectives began investigating Dr. Brian Rorick last January at Peak Performance Chiropractic after a woman reported that she was inappropriately touched over a series of visits. During the investigation, detectives discovered a prior complaint made from another survivor from 2019. A warrant was filed with 2 counts of unlawful sexual contact against Rorick as a person of interest. Rorick turned himself into the Larimer County Jail after the alleged accusations were made. Investigators believe there may be more victims based on the time frame of the 2 incidents and the similarities between them. Anyone who has more information is encouraged to contact Police Protective Services at 970-416-8027.
Families fear their deceased ones were never cremated and instead are among almost 200 bodies found in a Colorado funeral home last week. According to the Associated Press, the Return to Nature funeral home appears to have fabricated cremation records and may have even given families fake ashes. Return to Nature gave some families death certificates stating their loved ones were handled by one of 2 crematories. These 2 businesses said they were not performing cremations for the funeral home on the dates included on the certificates. These findings follow authorities discovering improperly handled bodies last week after responding to reports of a foul smell coming from the property. Fremont County coroner said that many bodies have been identified and they will begin to notify family members soon. However, the identification process could take months.
RAs across campus have expressed frustrations over the financial situation that they were put in by the Office of Financial Aid in Housing and Dining for months now. The situation being that RAs have been overcharged by OFA due to an accounting mistake by HDS. HDS and OFA brought the RAs together for a meeting on how to move forward. The RAs' feelings on the situation have been made known across the campus, as RAs were charged as much as $16,000 in financial aid due to an accounting mistake made by HDS and OFA. With an alleged mistake costing this much, RAs had multiple concerns, ranging from their job security, hourly pay, how a mistake like this was allowed to happen, and if a mistake like this will happen again. Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Blanche Hughes, former interim president Rick Miranda, and Housing and Dining Services Director Nick Sweeten set up a meeting to guide these discussions.
This has been hard, and we, you own it. There was miscommunication. We didn't get the paperwork done that we needed to. We're all human. We all make mistakes, and we've learned from that. So I know I don't want to go over stuff that I know you've already been told, but just in terms of summary of, we're fixing that so we don't have this situation again.
However, not everyone was pleased with their responses and gave criticism about the treatments of RAs. Overall, some RAs have discussed plans of future meetings with HDS and OFA for a future meeting in hopes that more can be done to protect their workers' rights. As always, this is a developing story, and CTV will keep you updated.
Now for a short break, stick around for Adam Carlson's weather forecast.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Rams, my name is Adam Carlson, and I am here to give you your weather rundown for the night. Seems we're having some technical difficulties. So, for current conditions, right now it's a bit cloudy out. You might have seen some drops earlier, 48 degrees, and humidity at 49%. Sun went down at 6:04. But overall, today's campus was beautiful. Fog everywhere, bright colored leaves. It truly felt like fall after last week's frustrating 80-degree weather. But I'm just so happy that we're finally at that time. But looking at tonight's overnight lows, down that I-25 corridor and in the eastern plains, everything's around the 30s, but going as low as 19 in Sterling. And when we look at the western slopes, it's a little crazier. Craig at 15, giving us our low for the whole state, and Vail having some winter storm warnings. So just things to be aware of. Ski season might be near. Now, heading into tomorrow's forecast, tomorrow it's going to be cloudy yet again. 49 is our high, 27 is our low, and pretty humid again. Not too sure if you can expect some fog, but you never know. It's Colorado. Heading into the 5-day forecast, this weekend we might see our first snow. Saturday all day we might see some snow, and Sunday it might bleed into our mornings a little bit. But once we get back to Monday, it's going to be nice and sunny again. But we're in those 40-degree temperatures, and Wednesday will be back up to 52, giving us some more nice, calm weather that we can expect for fall. Now, and that brings me to the end of the forecast for you all tonight. But stay tuned. JJ has more news for you after this.
A celebration of Native American culture saw indigenous nations from across the United States come together for food, singing, and dancing to honor the traditions of their ancestors. And it was brought together right here at CSU's campus.
Festivities brought people together to celebrate the Powwow event, as dancers from across the community displayed vibrant performances. Jerron Fowler is one such performer who knows just how important his dance means to his culture.
I'm a grass dancer. We are the scouts. We are the ones who are the first in battle, the first one in the dance arena. That's what my dance is about. It's a warrior society dance. It's about a warrior helping his people.
Fowler, a member of the Navajo tribe, knows that the feelings brought on by the powwow run deep, not just for him, but for everyone.
As what I was told growing up, I am the descendants of the people they tried killing. They tried killing us off a long time ago, but we're still doing everything that they tried getting rid of.
The Powwow is a joint celebration of Native cultural heritage between the American Indian Science and Engineering Society and the Native American Cultural Center to kick off Native American Heritage Month in November.
The powwow, I feel like that's very important overall because it kind of carries on our traditions and our culture, especially because seeing our ancestors and them not being around anymore, I bet you they'd be very happy for us. And not only that, but I think it because now we're able to show the community about different cultures, traditions, all of that sort.
And the culture is alive and well as different members of the Native community from all generations took part.
My favorite part about dancing is when I spin around.
When I danced today was Fancy Shawl, and it was a resemblance of a butterfly, where as if a butterfly is coming out of its cocoon and slowly spreading its wings.
So they tried to change us and say that what we were doing in our spiritual ways was not good, or it wasn't for us. We survived though. We come through. And now we're dancing out there with no shame.
Overall, the powwow has and will continue to bring the Native American community together.
People often think we're gone. The Indian people are gone. The Indian race is dead. And like, we're not. We're still here. We're still doing our dances. We still walk the path of our ancestors.
ACES and the Native American Cultural Center celebrate powwow every year, and they welcome everyone, no matter their culture, to come and celebrate with them next year.
Over 20 Colorado elected officials were present at the annual community roundtable held this week at CSU, with the primary topic of discussion, the controversial housing costs in Fort Collins. Senator Michael Bennett and Representative Joe Negus were among the dozens of officials present at the meeting, along with most of Fort Collins City Council. The roundtable, which is sponsored by ASCSU, had the largest turnout in its event's history. The officials offered no resolution to the criticized housing costs. In other news, CSU held the largest symposium for inclusive excellence this week, a week-long event focused on diversity and accessibility for the CSU community.
The primary goal of the symposium has always been education, right? At the core of it, it's educating about diverse ideas and concepts and people and research that is happening, and we want people to learn from that. I think this can enhance students' experience on college campuses.
With workshops, guest speakers, and events, the symposium centers around inclusion and social justice. Accessibility is a main focus as all sessions are streamed, live, and recorded for viewers to watch later. Sessions even have an ASL interpreter and provide Spanish translation devices for those who need it. CSU clubs and faculty participated in the symposium to make the event as engaging as possible. Even CSU President Amy Parsons made an appearance for the community. Vigil oversees a team of people who spend several months working together to plan for the week.
All of the work, all of the emails, all of the coordination, it's all worth it if we get to celebrate our community and that students can see a future and an option for themselves.
The Symposium for Inclusive Excellence is not yet over, in case you still want to get involved. Tomorrow, the symposium will be finishing up by exploring the history of the term Latinx and how this involves the trans and binary community.
The Clark Building has received its first all-gender restroom after years of work. The effort began in 2020, starting years of planning for the project. Organizers tracked the use of QR codes in different buildings on campus to collect data on the demand for all-gendered restrooms. And it was found that Clark had the most scans. In response, the men's room on the second floor of Clark C, room C203, was converted to an all-gender restroom over the summer. Ali Owens, a CSU senior who serves on the Pride Leadership Council, was one of the many driving forces behind the project. Owens said that the new addition is really a safety issue, and that keeping people safe who have faced discrimination is a good example of Rams taking care of Rams. Clark's first all-gender restroom also prevents a student from having to leave the building to find a restroom they feel comfortable in, helping students' academic success while also supporting their emotional well-being.
Well, that's all the news we have for you all tonight.
When we return from break, Zoe Weir will give us an exclusive interview with one of CSU's most valuable football players.
Good night and stay safe, Rams.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
How's it going, Rams? Welcome back to another week of CTV Sports. CSU football fans may have not noticed a new number that stands out on the field this year. Despite it being his first year, BYU transfer Dallin Holker has been the talk of the town. And I had the awesome opportunity to sit down and learn about who he is on and off the field.
What's up, guys? This is Zoe Weir with CTV Channel 11 Sports, and I am here today with Dallin Holker. All right, Dallin, during your transfer process, what stood out about Colorado State that made you choose the green and gold?
Yeah, just during the whole transfer process, it was pretty crazy. But when we came here, my wife and I, we just really loved it, and it just felt like home. We really loved the coaches and everything, and just the city. It just felt like the right place to be.
You spent 1 season at BYU, and then you went on a mission to Chile. You came back to BYU for another 2 seasons. How did football change for you after your mission?
Oh man, it was crazy. I mean, my mission is that was one of the greatest experiences of my life, and so I feel like I learned so much on my mission. Just I matured a lot more, and I learned more about hard work and stuff like that on my mission, especially just putting God first and playing for Him and kind of being an instrument in His hands. And so it helped me out a ton in football and just changed the whole game and my whole perspective.
Well, that's a great way to put it. What's your pregame ritual and your hype song?
Yeah, pregame ritual, I don't eat any sweets at all, but I always have Snickers before a game. So that's the one thing I gotta have is a Snickers before the game. And then pregame hype song, there's a few, but I really like Something's Real by Post Malone and then Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne. So that's I kind of switch off between those.
So who's your favorite artist then?
Lil Wayne.
Okay, yeah. I love Lil Wayne. So you're talking about the CU Boulder game then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, cheering for the other team.
All right. Did you have a job during high school? And if you did have a job, what was it? How did you end up there?
Yeah, so I didn't really. I always had sports and stuff like that. But one time I had some of my friends worked at Five Guys. And so I was I'm going to apply. So I applied, got the job, and they made me sit for 12 hours and filling out a bunch of these papers and watching videos. And I was I hate this. There's no way I could do this job. And so that was the only day I worked, and I quit after that day. So.
Well, National Tight Ends Day was earlier this week. Did you celebrate? Did you go to dinner? What did you do?
No, I didn't do anything too crazy. Just got a few texts and stuff like that. Kind of just, joking around about it, but it's definitely a cool day.
All right, you had the Hail Mary catch against Boise. And after the game, the media was posting everywhere, legend says he's still holding onto the ball. So at what point did you drop the ball?
I hold on to it the whole time on the field, and I went into the locker room and I was jumping around with it. And then we have a cubby and it has a password, and so I closed the cubby, made sure the password, everything was closed. And then after that, I got it, held it in my hands. I was talking to my family. I didn't let go of it until I got home, because I didn't want to make sure anybody was gonna steal it or anything like that from me. So I held on to it for a while.
That's a trophy. All right. Yeah. So right now, I believe that you are one of 2 guys who are married on the team. Out of all of your teammates, who do you think is next?
How about the person I'd want to be next is Peter Montini. He doesn't have any, anyone right now, but I would want him to be next.
All right, we should put him on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you like being outside. What's been your favorite thing you've done since you've been in Colorado?
That's a tough question. There's a lot of fun things around here and a lot of fun things that we've done. We went to Horsetooth Reservoir one time. We brought our dog. We went like fishing and stuff like that, and that was a really fun time. And my dog enjoyed that too, so I like that.
Do you like fishing?
Yeah, I love.
What's your biggest fish you've ever caught?
Shoot, I haven't caught like super big fish. I'd say like 14 inches is probably my biggest fish I've caught, but looking to catch some bigger ones.
All right, so I know that you've been in touch with Trey McBride, who is a former tight end here, who's now playing for the Arizona Cardinals. How has he been able to mentor you so far this season?
Yeah, no, it's been super cool. I first met him back in the spring, during our spring practice and spring game and stuff, and he was super nice, like super open, like gave me his number and told me like if he needed anything, let him know and stuff. And he's just been cool, like being there and supporting me and stuff, like that call that you guys saw after the Middle Tennessee and stuff. That was really cool, and his support has just helped me. I mean, he was a great tight end here, and so seeing him do great things here gives me the confidence to know that I can also do great things here.
All right, well, speaking of tight ends in the NFL, currently Travis Kelce is a fan favorite amid all the Taylor Swift stuff. Is Kelce on your watch list? Is he one of your favorites?
Yeah, he's my favorite tight end.
Of all time?
Yeah, all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, to end this, what has been your favorite memory since you have been a Ram?
That's a hard one because I feel like you have so many every day. Like, there's like little memories that you have where you're just in the locker room with your teammates, and like those are like end up being the best. But the Middle Tennessee game, like winning that game was like huge, and like just the emotion in the locker room after that game was amazing. And it's like you don't have those feelings very often. And it was just like I feel like a huge game for this program, and so definitely after that game, that was probably my favorite memory so far.
All right, well, thank you so much, and we wish you luck against Air Force.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
All right, well, Holker has 43 receptions, 577 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's really impressive for a wide receiver, nonetheless a tight end. He is up for a slew of awards, and we will see what hardware he ends up taking home. And that is all the sporting news we have tonight. Here's Dakota and Tate to give us a new perspective on staying active. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and as always, go Rams.
Thanks, Zoe. With a recent report by the Department of Justice finding Colorado has the highest rate of violent crime among the 22 most populous states, Silas Beener, dojo owner of Cobra Self-Defense, strongly encourages students like ourselves to be observant of our surroundings.
Cobra Self-Defense System, an international self-defense system created by a gentleman named Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton created it about 2004, 2006, roundabouts that. He lives down in Florida. He was a city police officer, state police officer, detention center, deputy, all those sorts of things, and did that for quite a lot of years. And bases this system on what he saw with his research over those years and created a self-defense system. So we've been a Cobra Self-Defense school since 2013. We are a training center for the Western region. And we do have still, as far as I know, we have the most certified self-defense instructors for Cobra of any branch or any school in on earth and internationally. So.
The dojo has had 14 instructors go through the certification process. They must go through 2 rigorous 10-week academies to test their skills. Almost half had no prior martial arts experience. However, the time and passion they put into their training is what makes this dojo stand out among the rest.
It's really important because the takeaway you want to get, I mean, I guarantee you'll have at least something that you can use in the 2-hour class that you do, and there'll be a ton of stuff you can use in the other ones. But is it simple? I mean, Chris Sutton made the curriculum simple.
Cobra Self-Defense offers 5-week academies Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6. They also offer kids 1-day courses with an age range from 5 to 13 starting on the second Saturday in November. On November 4th, they'll be holding a 1-day adults-only course. The curriculum is geared towards everyone, offering shorter or longer courses to fit your needs. You can find more information on their website, cobracolorado.com.
It'd just be great to, have anybody contact us anytime, and if there are people out there who see this, who, we are a for-profit company, but if there is somebody who needs something, please contact us. It is more important for people to get the training than, say they can't afford it or something. You shouldn't put a price on it.
We're all guilty of walking around with headphones on or being glued to our screens, but your safety is most important to everyone at the dojo.
You know, Dakota, when I was looking over the story titles for all the stories tonight, and I saw Cobra Self-Defense, I will admit this isn't exactly what I had envisioned in my mind when reading that sentence, but I like this so much more than the vision of some man boxing a cobra.
You thought it was cobras fighting.
Yes,
That's
I will.
a common
yeah.
misconception.
I'm sure he gets that all the time.
Of course.
But speaking of fighting cobras, as opposed to using your hands, how about swords? Here at CSU, the Medieval Society of Ramskeep is bringing medieval history to life on campus as they engage in epic reenactments of middle-aged fighting styles and immerse themselves in the intricate world of crafts from centuries past. Practicing in the heart of campus, the Medieval Society of Ramskeep is a club focused around recreating the fighting styles, attire, and crafting techniques of the Middle Ages, featuring activities such as sword dueling, armor crafting, bardic poetry, and other similar medieval practices. This club is full of unique experiences.
I never thought I would be able to get into it until my freshman year. I joined CSU, and one of my friends heard about the club and said, "We should go to this, they'll teach us how to fight with swords." I said, "Yes, please, let me fight with swords."
Ramskeep welcomes everybody. We welcome everyone from all majors, all athletic ability and types. Really, you can know lots about medieval society, you can know absolutely nothing about it. You could be more interested in fighting, you could be more interested in crafts. We try to cater to everybody and make sure that everyone has a place within Ramskeep.
With an incredibly tight-knit community, every member of the society works as a team to represent CSU in all of its battle tournaments and crafting projects.
I think my favorite part of Ramskeep is the people. Everyone is very unique. They bring lots of different things to Ramskeep, and for everyone wanting to learn about swords and medieval times, there's lots of different people from different backgrounds that all contribute their own unique thing to it.
With practices taking place every Wednesday at 4 p.m. by the Vietnam Memorial Bridge, the Medieval Society of Ramskeep continues to teach future generations about the wonders of the Middle Ages. As we conclude our journey through CSU's Medieval Society of Ramskeep and their dedication to reenactment and craftsmanship, it's clear that their club not only brings history to life, but also forges lasting bonds among its members. Their shared passion for the past and creative pursuits continue to thrive, leaving an indelible mark on the Colorado State University campus. You have got to see those people practicing. It is astonishing what they do. They stand by that tree, swing swords at each other, fully armored. It's a real different change of scenery on the average CSU campus horizon.
No, I bet it looks so much fun. I want to go fight with swords.
I know,
I
right?
want to hang out with them.
I just want to hold them. I don't know if I can get in there.
Pose with them?
Yeah, I'll look good with them. I'll hold them up. I don't know if I want to be swinging them at other people or at myself. But that's the end of our show.
We'll see you all next week. Good night, Rams.